Alright. So, I did an hour recording. I forgot to record. So, I had to get all the way back here on another save just to get this recording in, and then I can go back on the other save. Oh, that was painful. So, let's go through this. I have to end cycle. I might lose a lot of my dice. You rise from your berth, slowly coming to your senses. This is it, the final cycle on Darkside. Your thoughts jump to Marco somewhere else in this sprawling metropolis, rising from his own berth to greet another dark day. He did what he had to do. He wished things had turned out differently. He got unlucky, and he did what he had to do to stay alive. You know what that's like. But it won't help him to dwell on that fact. Instead, you wait, your eyes fixed on the door, willing Ankita to arrive and end this. After some time, she appears, your ticket out. Laine is back on Darkside. We have to go now. Ankita looks tired, angry. We won't have another chance. Come with me, quickly, quietly. She turns and pushes out into the corridor. Nia sighs, let's get this done. Ankita leads you across Darkside, not stopping to look back. The lights and passages flash by, but you barely notice them. All eyes are fixed ahead, on the way out. At some distant part of the station, Ankita stops at a docking bridge, a small freighter visible through the viewing windows. She slaps the door release and it slides open. She grabs your shoulder, looking into your eyes. Laine's focus will be on Darkside now. He needs to stop the infighting, to shore up Utsubo. If you get out now, he won't follow. Remember, Ankita hisses the instructions to you. Get that drive to Oliveira. Give it to Carmen, no one else, no matter what they say. Just nod. Ankita returns your nod, and then she is gone, disappearing into the endless, winding passages of Darkside. You drift gingerly down the docking tunnel, which leads into the cold and sparse cargo bay of the ship. Once you are inside, there is a hiss and the doors scissor shut. For a moment, you panic, seeing no exit, no other doors, just a metal-walled bay. Is this a trap? But the engines rumble to life, and you give into your exhaustion. If Ankita has tricked you, at least you are leaving this place behind. And then you feel it, cold fingers reaching into your mind. You are so close, Laine's voice in your ear. You are here. A rustling, a shifting. I can't quite place you. Can't quite put my finger on you, sleeper. But I know you are there. What were you doing here? Hoping to confront me, perhaps? Or something else? A hiss. I'm right here, you coward. Come and find me. I'll admit, I'm not quite ready for you, sleeper. A flicker and a spasm. But so soon this will be all over. A tone begins, shrill and inescapable. Let me show you. The tone rises. Laine is in the bay of the freighter. The pull of constant acceleration and comforting pressure against his chest. Laine looks around the bay, taking it in slowly. He inhales the stale air deeply. Laine feels power, feels pride. The sense of control over another excites him. This is his desire. Laine lifts his right hand and turns it in the air, flexing his fingers in a satisfying way. Something flickers at the corner of your vision for a moment, and you strain to turn Laine's head. I think he's controlling me. It does not turn, but you swear you see a figure there in the bay with you. It opens its mouth, as if to speak, as if to scream, and then it is gone. A smile grows on Laine's face, a spreading tightness that has its own impulse. He raises one hand and uses it to grip the smallest finger of the other. A pause, and then a sudden jerk. Laine snaps the finger back against the joint. His pain is instant, as is yours. It burns your vision away. When the white-hot blindness has faded, you look out on those same metal walls. You hold the same finger in your hand, and as you release it, you see the crooked shape it has been bent into. A shiver runs through you, and you reach back into your own mind to see if any trace, any fragment of Laine remains there. You put your hands on your face and push, as if to push him from your head. The ship continues out on its starward arc, away from Darkside, away from Laine, but you can't help but feel that some part of him is still there, behind your eyes, concealed beneath the pain of that snapped finger. It takes a long time before you are ready to discuss everything. First, there was the journey to the yard, then disembarking from the freighter, then explaining to the waiting crew why their ship was impounded. A difficult job without Marco. Thankfully, the crew of the ship that brought you out of Darkside, sent by Ankita, took the others aside and settled them. Through the promise of remuneration, or the threat of violence, you aren't sure. But you expect they will leave together for Darkside soon. Remuneration, I believe, getting paid.
Remuneration.
Payment for work or services. You do your best to explain your encounter with Ankita to your crew, but the mention of her name sets off a significant reaction in Bliss. It seems the two have history, a relationship that fell apart. Bliss removes themselves from the conversations, and later on, you find them in the berths, staring at the wall. The berths, that's like the bedrooms, right? Or something. Yep. Berth. A bed in a boat, train, etc. Or a place for a ship or boat to stay in port.
Berth.
The whole time, you find yourself in a daze. Your skin hurts, and your muscles tremble. You don't feel yourself. You rest for a while, and as you do, chaos echoes around you. Arguments and hard conversations, until you find yourself able to rise. Now the chaos has passed, leaving you and Seraphim on board the rig, with nothing to protect you from his difficult questions. Seraphim waits until it is just the two of you. He floats there, stretching his scarred arm, the protective sleeve he has been wearing since the fast spindle finally removed. What happened with Marco, sleeper? Seraphim meets your eye with a look of serious concern. He got himself caught. Shit. Seraphim frowns. Damn it. He punches the wall of the passage. This is not how it was supposed to go. He exhales sharply. We will get him out. We owe him that. He stares hard at the wall. We are going to tear Utsubo down. Seraphim looks down. I'm sorry I wasn't there, Sleeper. I should never have let Marco go instead of me. It's okay. Seraphim nods. Never again. He looks up. Tell me it was worth it, Sleeper. That you got something on Utsubo. You explain about the meeting you witnessed, the conflict between Oren and Daichi, and Ankita's intervention. Explaining Ankita takes a little more effort, but you try to remember everything that happened. You explain Ankita's insistence that she was working against Darkseid, and how she got you off the station. You explain that Utsubo itself is coming apart with Laine absent, and that this will draw his focus away from the two of you. Seraphim waits until you have finished to respond. So, this Ankita got herself inside Utsubo. He raises an eyebrow. Just to try to break their grip on Darkseid? He whistles. Take some rules. You explain the drive, mention Oliveira, Carmen, and then hold up the thumbnail drive, the one Ankita entrusted to you. Oliveira? He screws up his face. I've heard of it, maybe once or twice. I just assumed it was some backwater colony. He sighs. Never met a Carmen, though. What's on that thing? Seraphim nods at the thumbnail drive. Something incriminating. Incriminating for who? Seraphim raises an eyebrow. Laine makes the law on Darkseid. If they were going to lock him up for his cruelty, they would have done so already. I don't get it. Seraphim raises an eyebrow. We just deliver this little mystery drive, and that's all? He looks away, deep in thought. Is that what you want to do next? Oliveira, you've never even heard of it, but it seems like the place to go if you want to help Ankita fight back against Laine. You look at the drive, and as you do, you can't help but feel you are being used, not for the first time. One thing I will say, Seraphim begins, clearly thinking out loud. If we want to head back to Darkseid, take on Laine, we are going to need to do so on our ship this time. Some crews get spoofed transponders, send out a signal matching another ship. He shrugs. Not going to get one fitted here, but that's something we need to look out for. Sure, you think. Go back to Darkseid, where Laine waits. A shudder of fear runs through you, thinking of the moment he slipped into your mind on the freighter. If you ever go back there, you know you'll need something to counteract him. But you also recall Overseer's presence in that moment too, his strange form holding its shape as Laine tried to override your control. Perhaps Overseer is a way for you to resist his signal. Your mind whirls with possibilities and problems. Is this really the right move? To go back to the place that almost killed you twice? To take Laine on? Seraphim looks at you expectantly. What are you thinking, Sleeper? We need to prepare. I couldn't agree more. Seraphim shakes his head. Next time will be different. We will be ready. We will come up fighting, and Laine won't have a clue what's hidden. We need work. We need a crew. Seraphim starts counting off his fingers. We need to take that thing to Oliveira, and we need you strong, Sleeper. Speaking of, Seraphim takes out a box of components. I kept myself busy these fast cycles, working in the fabricator bays, on the scatter yards. I figured you could use some spares. How much do I have? It's coming rare components, right? But first, Seraphim takes a calming breath. We rest. Ooh, glitch die. The rig. Investigate Hex 4. dark side? I see. Cool. So we'll rest. And then I think I can go back. So we'll end it there for now.